This video is going to be more so informative. Well, all my videos are informative, but also at the same time, this video is going to be basically exposing the male experience and what it's like for us men being in the toilets. I don't know if any women are going to be too overly curious and actually take a peek into this video to see what it's like for us behind the scenes, but I'm going to briefly make a 10-minute video, as I always commonly do nowadays, talking about the male problems that tend to happen to me. Just all of us men in general, but I'm going to specifically refer to me because I have a dick like most men on this planet, so I'm going to talk about the male problems that I can think of in the top of my head. Fuck off, these flies. That happened to me when I'm in the toilet. Now, okay, I have a big dick, right? I'm not on censoring shit, right? If I get age restricted, so be it. This video was never for 18 under 18s anyway. I have a big dick, right? And whenever I go on the toilet, you get a boner. You get a boner on the toilet. And there'd be times I would need to take a massive shit, right? So I'd sit on the toilet seat. And the issue would be, there would be times where I'd really have to shit in the toilet. And it would be to the point where I genuinely can't hold it anymore. I need to burst. I genuinely need to burst. It's disturbing my insides, right? It's disturbing my insides. And my dick would still be hard. So my dick's above the top lid of the toilet seat, right? And the hard part would be getting your dick to shrinken so you can actually take a shit as it normally does. That's normally how you're meant to do it. Because if it's really hard to control your penis and your dick and your anus at the same time when you're taking a shit. That just to do it separately. Usually when you push really hard on your ass, it tends to happen the same way with the penis, and then urine just comes out as a byproduct. And I didn't want that to happen, so I do anything to try shrinking my dick. A lot of you guys, you make a big deal about having big dicks, like it's the end all be all. Hey, in that regard, I kind of envy you guys with little dicks, because yeah, this is a problem us big dick fellows have to have. That comes with the territory. Having high testosterone, a lot of booze. Kind of have to wait a few minutes for your dick to shrink, and wait a few seconds, and for some of us it even takes a few minutes, which, hey, can be very annoying. So I just have to sit there in the toilet, I wait for my dick to shrink, so I can, tuck the dick underneath, and then you can actually shit like how you're meant to shit, because no one wants to shit, and then you accidentally piss on the floor or piss on the lid. It's an uncomfortable position, very uncomfortable position. I know this is what I'm going to say next is kind of universal, but when I take a shit, I like to spread my butt cheeks. A lot of people, when they take a shit, they don't even do that. They just sit on the toilet and they shit. I'm thinking that's so disgusting. That is so disgusting. Because I find it disgusting because of the potential risk. What if you have shit stain? You end up getting shit stains on your ass, around your ass crack, because you never took the few seconds to really reduce the possibility of it happening by spreading that shit out. Spread your ass cheeks when you poo, man. And a lot of you guys are gonna say what I'm saying in this video is silly or anything like that. Well, it's real life problems that we actually face, and I believe you need to grow up. And it's okay to have conversations like this. I know it may sound weird because I'm literally talking about ass cracks, and I'm very raw with this video, but as the video suggests, I am talking about real problems when taking a shit. Which leads me to the second actual male problem when taking male toilet problems in general. This is actually peeing this time. It's fucking flies. It's not even hot yet and they're coming. So it leads me to the second problem I face as a man being in the toilet. So it's peeing this time, not taking a shit, peeing. So whenever I'd pee, I stand up. I would piss straight. Oh, bro. I don't know if you guys can see that. You know those hovering flies that just come out of nowhere? I do not want any business with that. I'm good, brother. I'm gonna make sure you're here. I'm gonna say it because I don't want to know. They broke the fence. What are they doing? Oh, God. I'm not gonna let that stop me. Anyway, the second problem I have, it would be when I'm peeing in the toilet. as men, we stand up straight. We don't sit down like women. Unless we're taking a shit in the toilet. Unless we're taking a heavy shit in the toilet. Then we would sit down and do a pee simultaneously. Maybe sometimes not always at the same time, but we would still sit down. And the pee is just prior to us, you know, excreting in the toilet, getting all the feces out and whatnot. But there would be times I'd be standing up in the toilet, you know. As you know, men stand up in the toilet to pee. You're a man, you know that, of course. I would aim straight. My piss splits in two, right? Then it ends up going on the floor. And I have self-control. But it's annoying because I kind of had no control over, you know, I kind of had no control over my body doing that. So you just pee in the opposite direction. So it's almost like you pee in an X-like position. So sometimes that happens to me quite often, and I think to myself, what the fuck is wrong with my dick? Why is it not working? Why am I peeing in two directions? And you know what the most annoying part is? I know I have self-control. I know I'm a mature 19-year-old man who can control himself. And it's not like I try to purposely pee on the floor, something I never do. I mean, I used to do it as a kid, of course. You know, you're a lot less self-aware and selfish. You know, you're a lot less empathetic. You don't really think about much people. But when you grow older, it's like I'm genuinely trying, but my dick just says otherwise, and it pees in two directions, and this, yeah, it fucks me up. So then I have to grab the wipe the floor, then use the tissue. It's annoying. And even then, there'd be times. Well, no, I'm not rich, right? So there'd be times I don't even have the toilet wipes to actually wipe the floor. So I'd have to rely on the spray, and I spray the floor as a means of substitute for the toilet wipes, and then spray the floor. They still smell pretty good, and it's liquid, right? You spray in abundance, and it's pretty much the same thing. Not to recommend it. Obviously, you use your regular toilet wipes, but soaking as a whole, it works. So I use that as a substitute. Wipe the floor. Yeah. It's really annoying though. It's not something I like doing. It's annoying. So you have two problems already. The problem with shitting, when you have to, you know, wait for your dick to decrease in size, de-erect, that's the word, just to take a shit. And hey, there'll be times you're limited on time. You can't really do that type of stuff. And then you have the second one I explained with pissing, with the pissing issue. Your pee is splitting in two directions, which is really annoying. And I believe the final problem I'm going to speak about, and it kind of links to the pissing one. You want to piss really bad. Your dick just won't shrink. It's just staying erect for some reason. It's like, yeah, I take pride in having a massive cock. But at the same time, there are times where you just need to slim it down. Now I have one more problem. And it's not even toilet, but it will relate. Back to the third point. You know, there'd be times, yeah, like I told you, I would want to pee. I genuinely can't pee because my cock won't fucking shrink. So then, you know what I'd have to do? I have a relatively small toilet. I live in a council flat, right? And fortunately, I have a mirror on my wall, which was never there about 2 years ago. So shout out to my brother for drilling the hole so we could actually have a mirror to look at ourselves. So unrelated. I didn't look at my, yeah, why did I mention that? What the fuck? I'll leave it in, of course, but you know, my dick would be too hard, so it'd be hard to piss. So I'd have to, like I told you, I have a small toilet, so I'd have to, you know, reach my hand out, touch the wall. You know, let me show you the pole. Let me show you. It's better I show you than just yap all day. First, I need to see from this direction if you guys can actually see me, so I can describe to you what I'm talking about. Perfect. Yes. All right. So, picture. Imagine this is the toilet, right? This is the toilet, and like I told you, my dick's erect. I can't shrink it. I've tried everything, and let's say you're limited on time. Right? So, this would be you. You would have to forcefully, and your pants are down, your boxes are down, of course. You would have to forcefully just piss like that. You'd have to hold your dick and just aim for the toilet because your dick's so hard. Hey, and sometimes, man, hey, times, your dick's so hard, your dick's only pointing upwards. So now it's going everywhere. So you kind of have no choice. I know a lot of men experience this. They're just too scared to say it. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I told my older sister about this about a week ago, male problems. There'd be times I remember last week I told my sister, sorry I took too long in the toilet. She was wondering, right? Because you know, men don't really have to sit down in the toilet, and I told her I was gonna pee. Well, it was known that I was going to pee, and she was wondering why it took so long in the toilet. You know. Now I know there are days where you generally need to pee as a man, and it just takes ages to come out. I know it's annoying, it's weird, and I don't want to fuck off. These flipping flies, bro. Yeah, I was just blatant honest. I was like, yeah, sorry it took so long. You know, I pissed. I couldn't control my penis. As a male problem we have, we piss in two directions. Completely understanding. And that's maturity, man. That's maturity. She's in her early 20s, so that's probably why it's a lot easier to talk to older people. Maybe in 23, I'm 19. You know, when you're just honest, and it depends on how you convey something through your mouth, even if it's on a very sensitive topic like I'm talking about here. I mean, I guess I got a bit carried away with a bit too raw saying cock, penis. No, penis isn't normal thing to talk about, but you know, me saying cock and stuff like that, big deal. Fair enough. Okay, I was a child in that regard. But in general, the way you convey yourself, you know, it makes the topic, even if it is sensitive or be considered silly, it's nothing, man. It's like I remember when I was a child, every time someone would talk about sex or kissing, I always go like, ew! Naturally, instinctively as a kid, you're gonna think like that. When you get older, you talk about it, and it just depends on how you carry yourself and how you are able to carry a conversation. It's not as bad, you know? And it's not even weird anymore, which is like how it should be in adult society, growing up in general. It really should start as a teenager. But yeah, you tell your sister that it's just mutual understanding. The same way I can empathize. Well, I can't empathize because I don't have a vagina, and can never have periods. I physically can't. I'm a man with a dick. But I can sympathize with women when they talk about, oh, you're bleeding, you know, left a mess in the toilet. Now, preferably, yes, clean it up. But I would sympathize with women on that behalf. With the whole, you know, vagina hurting. I can understand. I can have a level understanding in terms of pain, because every time I'd piss in it feels like my dick's on fire. This would often happen when I drink a lot of juice. It'd fuck up my dick inside. And I'd piss, it feels like my dick's burning, like it's genuinely on fire whenever I piss. And it always happens when your cock's hard. It will never happen when your dick's soft. I always piss and it fucking hurts. It feels like my dick's on fire. So you can only imagine what it's like, the woman pissing out blood. No wonder they get their mood swings. I hear it. See, me being a man, a God-given gift to control your emotions, I would still control it, but I'd be burning inside. So I don't blame the woman for suffering like that. I can sympathize. And yeah, we just had a mutual understanding in that regard. I've had two more problems. Yes, I have another one. The one I was going to tell you about, so happened all the time. I would be always in the high school days, man. And not even high school. This would happen pretty much in all areas of life, but this most commonly happened in high school, right? Good thing I graduated high school and college, you know, because I don't need to do that bullshit anymore. There would be times all the time, I just stand up, my dick randomly gets erect. And there'd be times I don't even have a sexual thought like that, but my dick just gets erect. And thank God the majority of the time I had a coat with Sorry, I'm laughing because I had a funny thought on my brain from a former friend 3 years ago. He also explained the same issue I'm explaining to you right now, but he described it as, do you know when you stand up and your wood gets hard? It's something like that. I had the thought in my head right now. I had to laugh. Well, yeah, man. Yeah. You stand up. Thank God I had a coat majority of the time. You stand up and you get an erection. It's like, fuck, I don't know to see that. And there'd be times like, sometimes it'd be assembly. It'd be your turn to stand up. You get your certificate. You get your praise. Or the teacher tells you to stand up, demonstrate something on the whiteboard. Yeah, but my dick's fucking hard. I don't want to stand up. And the teacher's like, hey, Golden, why are you not standing up? Well, it's like you'd fucking understand. And I say that because most teachers are female nowadays, aren't they? I can only speak from London, England. Most teachers are female, right? It's like you'd fucking understand. You don't know what it's like to have a bone in the class and everyone's looking. When females are wet, hey, you may drip down in the bottom a little bit, but no one's really gonna know. The only way you truly burst in, like sweating, is when you manually masturbate, which you physically can't do when you're in a school when you're covered in clothing. Us, it's like, yeah, we can't control that. We get fully erect in the snow, and when a woman's wet, you can't tell. You could assume, you know, just the way I talk, his voice gets lighter. But with us men, it's like, you know, it's known. You know that you flipping got hard. You know that we have sexual thoughts just from looking at the bulge, and you know what? Son, you don't understand, man. You always tell us to stand up and you want to give us a behavior point for disobeying. I wish he knew. I really wish he did, because it's fucking tough. Especially when you have a hot chick in class. I remember all the time in high school, college. Every time I sit next to a hot chick, my dick would get hard. Because hey, I'm a very honest guy. And it's in me. God put that in my brain to have the innate desire to want to fuck. And so every time I'd sit next to a hot girl in college or high school, my dick would naturally get hard. Because my biology tells me, every time I see a girl that's attractive, it's just in my biology, I don't control this, it just pops up in my mind, I want to fuck her. And then, as a byproduct, you have thoughts about fucking the person, and your dick gets hard. Dick gets hard next to her. Yeah, I've had girls flirt with me in the past in high school and college. My dick would get hard from that. Hey, I can't help it, man, it's biology. It just happens, man. Yeah. Those are one of many problems. And the last problem is actually a good problem to have. Well, it's a blessing and a curse. If you don't have to stand up, if it's not towards the end of the lesson, I think you're pretty good to go. And this is assuming the teacher doesn't tell you to stand up. That would be good to beneficial to you. Because it's always nice having a hot girl next to you flirting with you, you know? Or just being around a hot girl. But when you're in a setting where you're standing up, oh, it's even worse. Control that. Because, yeah, you know, often women say there will be times they hug a man and then their cock bulges into their legs, or it does happen. It bulges into the upper thighs. It does happen at times. We can't control it. It just happens. There'd be times. Like, I remember 3 years ago, I saw this hot girl in my school that I liked, and yeah, I hugged her. This was the results day after GCSEs. I hugged her, and then my dick got hard. So now, I hope she never felt it, but I felt as though my dick was getting hard when I was hugging her. It was a lengthy hug. Looking back, it shouldn't have been that long, but yeah. We're going to get into too much detail on that. It was a lot lengthier than it should be. And me being a man, I got the... It happens, man. And I know, some women talk about experience that generally happens to them. You know, the dick goes into the... Well, not in there, but they just feel it on their little body. It's like, yo, bro, we can't control it. It just happens, man. That's just one of few of many problems us men face, So, yeah. A lot of men I can imagine empathize with me. I'm just brave enough to say what everyone's experiencing. That's all, man.